Hi there. I'm going to tell you the tale of how this product line kept us doing exterior work. We almost stopped altogether. I'm not joking. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's cracking, folks? Jeremy Vassar here with Practical Painting. We are professional painters here to help DIYers become better painters. Part of being a better painter is knowing the proper products to use, and that's where this review comes into play. I'm going to be talking about my most favorite exterior paint of all time, ever. Also, if you stay tuned to the end of the video, or I suppose you could jump ahead using timestamps, I will be sharing with you a practical painting pro tip involving these products and how we use them specifically. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Now, 7 or 8 years ago, we almost stopped doing exterior work altogether. A lot of the products we were using were going through formulation changes, which happens from time to time, particularly when they start changing laws about VOC and a bunch of other stuff. So what was happening is the products were changing that we were used to using, and they stopped performing the way we were expecting them to. We had a number of product failures, both with brush and roller stuff, also with spraying, where just the products were not working well. We were using it from a couple different manufacturers, Sherwin-Williams, and some other stuff, but it was almost impossible to use those products in any kind of direct sunlight, which sometimes is just an inevitability when you're painting outside. Yeah, and then one job we tried these two products right here. Here we go. Here's the big reveal. Boom. So you guys can see those. Bam. So in the red can, we've got More Guard, which is the low luster. And in the blue can, we've got More Glow, which is in the soft gloss sheen. Talk about what those sheens mean in a little bit. But these two products saved our bacon, and they're the reason we're still doing exterior work today. So what this product is, it's 100% acrylic fortified with alkyd technology. That just means that it is somewhat of a hybrid. You can really just use them and think of them as pretty much like a latex / water-based product. So soap and water cleanup, you don't really need any mineral spirits or anything like that. And because of that, they're just incredibly nice to work with. Onward with the review. Generally, I try and review paint products on my kind of 5 categories that I've been honing in as I've reviewed more and more paints. Let's start with workability. That's kind of my catch-all category for how these products are to work with. What is it like to cut them in, to roll them, all that kind of stuff. Long story short, these are awesome. They're super, super nice to work with. These products lay down really nice, and particularly like the soft gloss, which is what we use on all the trim, doors, shutters, all that kind of stuff. It just brushes on really nicely, and the open time is wonderful. It says on the can that it dries to the touch within 2 hours, and then you can recoat within 4 hours. Most of the time you're going to be painting outside, it's going to be a little warmer. That's going to dry pretty decently, and you can recoat much quicker than that. At least that's been my experience. A lot of crappier exterior products will dry as you're brushing them out, and if you try and go back and brush something that you just did, it'll kind of start pulling up the paint and chalking up your brush, and it's super annoying, particularly when you're doing something like front doors, where you're trying to have those brush lines look a very particular way. So these products lay down really nicely, they level out well. What's also nice is when they first came out, they were much more of a hybrid. They didn't have it dialed in quite as much, and you had to do a mineral spirit rinse on your brushes after you wash them out with soap and water. But with these, for however they changed the formulations over the years, now you can just do like warm water and you're good. Where it was not going to dry your brush out and have the bristles get like kind of rock hard and then unusable. So super nice to clean up, and yeah, just an absolute pleasure to work with, particularly if you're used to using exterior products that suck, which we did. Now let's go on to coverage / adhesion. You know, how well does this product cover, and then what can it stick to? That's another reason they go with the alkyd technology, like what they fortified it with. That really helps with this product sticking to just about anything. So it'll stick to like AZAC, any of the PVC type trim, you know, regular vinyl siding, wood siding, aluminum siding, any of that stuff. And again, we use it a lot, particularly the soft gloss on front doors, shutters, any of the trim work. So yeah, it covers really nicely. The only thing that I have seen as far as what you would need to prime, if you have like raw wood, I'd recommend priming that with an exterior primer. Also, if you have untreated, like brand new stucco, you're going to want to use a masonry primer to seal that, and then you can go over it with your, your exterior paint. On stucco and stuff, that's where we use the more guard. Never had any issues with adhesion, and with coverage, we do 2 coats on pretty much anything we do. That's just the habit that we have. So this product, we've never had any issues with it. As far as covering goes, even on some darker colors, it covers really nicely in 2 coats. A lot of times we're doing the front doors and shutters, and sometimes, like for instance, the client will get a new front door, it's factory primed white, and then they want it black. That's really common. So a lot of times with that, we will do a gray primer as a base, and then we'll do 2 top coats of the soft gloss, and then we're good to go. On to finish. When I talk about finish quality, I mean what the product looks like once it's been laid down, it's cured, it's dried all the way through, and the job is done. So just generally what it looks like when everything's all said and done. And as far as what goes where, the more guard, which is in the low luster is equivalent to an eggshell. So this would go on any of the larger surfaces on the exterior of a house. So it'd be like your bigger surfaces, your stucco, painted bricks, siding. So it could be vinyl siding, wood siding, aluminum siding, any of that stuff. That's what you're going to use the low luster for. And then for any of your trim, doors, shutters, all of that kind of thing, you're going to go with the soft gloss. Soft gloss is equivalent to a satin. And they consider it a factory finish, which is why it looks so friggin' good on doors and shutters, particularly vinyl shutters that have been faded out for a while. You do 2 coats with the soft gloss. So good. Looks dope. So, I couldn't be happier with the finish quality of these products. And one of those reasons is because like the open and flow of like the open time and then how the product flows and then levels out means you don't get any lap marks. So I don't see a lot of overlapping brush strokes. It looks like a nice uniform finish because the product kind of locks together. And because of that, the sheen gets evenly distributed, and that's really what makes up a good high quality finish when you look at it and it just looks nice and kind of all uniform. That's really what you're looking for in any paint. Onward to durability. These products hold up really nicely. Obviously, it's going to depend on how exposed they are to the different elements of, rain and snow and direct sunlight and heat and all of that stuff. I live in the Northeast. We're not too far away from Philly, so we get quite a bit of weather, and we've used this product all over the area, and I've been back to quite a number of those homes that we've painted, with the soft gloss and the more guard, and it's held up really good. The doors look great, the shutters look good, and, you just kind of have to have proper expectations. If you're getting a lot of weather and direct sunlight, things are just going to fade quicker than they would if they were, more sheltered. So, on to cost. These are, again, like a premium level exterior product. Right now, they're going between $55 and $65 a gallon. Which is right on par again with any kind of premium level exterior product. It's actually like not that bad. Usually, a lot of folks aren't going to be painting the big surfaces of your home. So the siding, if you have vinyl siding, you might actually like the color of it, so you're not going to have to paint that. And then you're just left with trim work like your shutters and front door and things like that. So you might only need 1 gallon or 2 gallons of the soft gloss, which that's not a huge investment, and at least in my experience, it is so worth spending the money and getting a good product that you can rely on and work with easily than to kind of skimp, particularly on exterior products. Interior products, you can kind of like, meh, because it's inside your house, but outside, if you're going through all the hassle of actually doing exterior painting, it behooves you to get, a good product that you can depend on and lays down really nicely. So that's my 2 cents on that. Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for, the practical painting pro tip. All right, I'm going to move these out of my way here real quick. We'll bring them back in a second. All right, so if you're using this product and you've got it in your edging container, what you want to do is if you have stopped using it for a little while outside, one of the things that can happen is your exterior paint can dry out. You just want to take a piece of cling wrap and just lay that over your edging container and then move it to an area that's not in direct sunlight. So if you can, move it inside the garage, a shady spot, somewhere like that. That'll help it not dry out and will keep it nice and fresh. And then if you're gonna, this kind of setup with just covering the edging container, that'll stay good for like, I don't know, maybe like an hour. So if you're gonna leave it longer than that, then what you do is just take your paint, take your brush right out of there, and then all you gotta do is just wrap it up. I've talked about this before. Boom. So you're just gonna wrap up your brush, kind of give it a little squeeze there, and now your brush is nice and wrapped up. You can pour the paint back into the can, seal that up good, and then just set this aside until you're ready to come back and paint. And then if your brush is getting crusty, and a lot of times you'll see it'll kind of start getting kind of dry and chunky towards the heel of the brush, which is this metal part, just wrap up that brush, set it aside, start a fresh brush, and keep on keeping on. That happens all the time with exterior work, particularly when you are painting in a little bit of sunlight. You're just going to get some dry bits of the paint kind of caking on the brush, and that can be frustrating because it might start coming off as you're brushing and get little bits into whatever you're painting. So just keep rotating your brushes, wrap them up in cling wrap. That'll keep the job going smooth, and you'll be much less pissed off as the job continues. And then at the end of the day, you just take these back to whatever slop sink or rec sink you have, wash them out, and we do this all the time. It works super good. Try not to forget about the brushes that you wrapped up, because a lot of times at the end of the week, we end up with quite a few wrapped brushes in our bag, and they can go for about a week, but I wouldn't recommend waiting that long. So that is what's up with these products. They are my most favorite. And if you got some exterior painting, if you're painting some trim and doors and shutters, check out the More Glow Soft Gloss. And if you're painting larger surfaces, highly recommend taking a looky-loo at the More Guard Low Luster. If you have any questions about exterior paint sheens, I'd recommend taking a look at the video I did explaining exterior paint sheens, because they're a little bit different than interior sheens. So give that a look. I will link to it up here. It'll also be in the end card at the end of the video. So that is going to do it for me, folks. Thank you guys very much for watching. And until next time, y'all take it easy, work smart, and have a good one. Peace.
Amazing.